In this lecture we will study about the lip pits, which was firstly recognized by de Marquet in the year 1845. He thought that these are the indentations produced on the lips by the upper incisors. Lip pits are basically the invaginations or the pits present on a lip. So you can see in the picture, these are the lip pits. So coming to the types of the lip pits, we have two types. First is the paramedian lip pits, also called as the congenital lip pits or the congenital fistulas of the lower lip. These you can say, these are present bilaterally and symmetrically on the lower lip. And second type, we have the commisural lip pits. From the name itself, these are present on the commissures, that is on the corners of the mouth, most commonly on the vermilion border of lip. Now the pathophysiology of lip pits. 90% of cases observe that there is a mutation in the gene that codes for the IRF6. It stands for interferon regulator gene or factor. This protein helps in the normal embryonic development. So in the paramedian lip pits, what happens is that as we know that we have the maxillary and the mandibular process, and the mandibular process there is a lateral sulci. So this sulci or the groove normally disappears at the 6 weeks of a embryonic development. So what happens if this groove persists or this sulci persists? There is an indentation produced. We called it as a paramedian lip pits or the congenital lip pits. Now coming to the commissural type. Now same, during the embryonic development we have the maxillary process and the mandibular process, lower one. So when there is a failure of fusion between these two processes, we have the commissural lip pits on the corners of the lip or the mouth. So clinical feature. So males are most commonly affected than females by the commissural lip pits. Now the syndromes associated with congenital or the paramedian lip pits. First is the Kabuki syndrome. Second is the popliteal pterygium syndrome. And the third is very important, van der Wood syndrome. And the commissural lip pits, these are the paramedian lip pits, and the commissural lip pits are associated with the preauricular sinus. Now we know that lip pits are most commonly present on the lower lip. These are most commonly present on the lower lip. And van der Wood syndrome, we will discuss it in detail. Now, what is van der Wood syndrome? Van der Wood syndrome is also called as a lip pit syndrome or the cleft lip syndrome. Another name is dimple papillae of the lips. So, van der Wood syndrome is characterized by the presence of congenital or the paramedian lip pits along with the cleft lip or cleft palate. This is a hallmark of the van der Wood syndrome. So, other components of the van der Wood syndrome includes, first is syngnathia. It means the fusion of jaws. High arched palate. There is hypernasal voice. Ankyloglossia, also called as a tongue tie, and maxillary hypodontia due to presence of cleft lip or the cleft palate. Now, clinically we can also see that there is a discharge from the lip pit site. The reason of this discharge we will study it in the histopathology. So, As we know that this is a narrow invagination, lipids are the narrow invaginations that are lined by the stratified squamous epithelium. So this is a histopathological diagram you have to draw. So before coming to the pathology, we will discuss the normal histology of the lip. So firstly we will take the longitudinal section. Now we know that we have three parts of a lip: environmental part, vermilion border, also termed as the red zone due to increased vascularity, and inner one, oral part. So firstly we have to draw basal cell layer. Above that we have to draw some layers of polygonal cells. These are the polygonal cells. Above these layers we have to draw flat cells and hyperkeratinization. Hyperkeratinization is present in the environment part. It is also present in the vermilion border, but it is less than that of the environment part. And keratinization is totally absent in the oral or the inner part of the lip. The rest of the layers of the epithelium are same in three parts, and in this part we have to draw the striated muscles having the eccentric nucleus, and we know that lip have the minor salivary gland, mucus glands or the minor salivary glands. So now coming to the pathology of the lipids. Narrow invagination lined by the stratified squamous epithelium. We have to draw a duct. Stratified squamous epithelium, we have to draw a duct of the minor salivary glands connected with the epithelium. So that's why you understand that there is a discharge from the lipids. So this is a diagram. Minor salivary gland, duct. So treatment. Basically we go for the surgical repair of the lip. So we have to go for the physical examination to exclude any syndrome. So this was all about the lipids. Thank you.